you believe it? We're on the last set of problems for the Algebra 1B semester practice exam. We've done a lot. Now, if you missed the first few videos, I'll be sure to link them down below in the description so that you can go back and be sure to get them. Also, make sure you're ready to get your extra credit because by showing all your steps and explanations on the practice exam, you're going to get some extra credit. So don't forget after we finish these problems that you send them to me so that I can update your gradebook. As always, if you have questions, please let me know. I would be glad to help in any way that I can. So just leave them in the comments below. But let's get started. We've got just 5 on this page. These are the last 5. So looking at problem number 33, we've got a right triangle. So I hope you're thinking of that Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Now remember, C squared is the hypotenuse. So we're going to put 183 in for C. I'll put 33 in for A and leave the B. Now, I'm going to switch over to our Desmos calculator so that we can do some of these calculations pretty simple. I'm going to type in the 183 to the second. That gave me 33,489. I'm also going to put in my 33 to the second. It gives me 1,089. So in order to find B, I'm going to have to subtract that 1,089. So I get B squared equals, and then I've got 32,400. Now, friends, Desmos will take care of this part for you too. You have to do the square root, and you do that SQRT, and you can type in your number, 32,400, and you get that B is 180. So pretty nice if I want to use that Desmos calculator. All right, I'm going to switch back our view so that we can see the practice exam a little bit better. Let's look at problem number 32. We're asked to simplify the radical expression by rationalizing the denominator. That is a mouthful. That just simply means get the radical, the square root, out of the denominator. So let me show you how to do that. We're going to multiply the top and the bottom of the fraction by the square root. That's it. Now let's see what happens. Okay. I've got 8 times the square root of 26. Notice I can't multiply a number that's outside of a square root with a number that's inside of a square root. They've got to be separate. But square root of 26 times square root of 26, that's just 26. No square root anymore. Now, notice the 8 and the 26 are both outside of a square root, and they're both divisible by 2. So I'm going to divide them by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. And 26 divided by 2 is 13. That's it. That's my answer. Remember what I did? I needed to get the square root out of the denominator, and I did that. That's why just simply multiply by the square root, top and bottom, and you're good.
Hey friends, want to take a look at this problem. We're told that a box has volume given by 3x cubed minus 12x squared minus 135x. What are the possible dimensions of the box? And we're told to use factoring. So when we look at an expression like this and asked to use factoring, I want you to think of the GCF first. So notice that each of the terms have an x, and each of the terms are also divisible by 3. So we're going to take the 3x, which is our GCF, and we're going to put it in front of a parentheses. Now, to decide what goes in that parentheses, we're going to divide each and every term here by the 3x. So now 3x to the third divided by 3x gives me x squared. 12x to the second divided by 3x gives me 4x. 135x divided by 3x gives me 45. Now we're not quite done yet. Now we need to factor what's inside this parentheses. And you'll remember that that's going to become 2 parentheses. Each parentheses is going to get an x because of this x squared there. And then we ask ourselves what two numbers multiply to give me negative 45, but add to give me negative 4. Let me say that again. What two numbers multiply to give me negative 45, but add to give me negative 4? That's going to be negative 9 and positive 5. So my possible dimensions here are the three things that are being multiplied together. It could be 3x, x minus 9, and x plus 5 there.
Let's move on. We've only got number 36 left. Now, friends, this is a lot like a division problem. It is a division problem. And I didn't think I had enough room, so I'm bringing over a piece of paper so that I can have a little bit more space to work that one. Hope that's okay with you. Feel free to use that yourself if that will help you be able to solve this one. So I'm going to put the 4x plus 2 on the outside of the house. Sorry, I revert to my division as the house and outside the house. And now I'm going to ask myself, what times 4x would give me 24x squared? Well, that would be 6x. Now let's multiply. 6x times 4x is 24x squared. 6x times 2 is 12x. Now in algebra, normally we would subtract, but in algebra, it's easier to add and change all the signs. So I'm going to do that. These two will cancel. That leaves me with negative 28x, and I'm going to bring down the 18. Now we ask ourselves, what times 4x would give me negative 28x, and that would be negative 7. Now multiply. Negative 7 times 4x is negative 28x. Negative 7 times 2 is negative 14. And remember, in algebra, it's easier to add and change the signs. So that leaves me with 32. Now 32 is called my remainder, but I want to show you how I actually write that. So I've got my answer, call that the quotient. And then I've got my remainder on the top of a fraction, the 4x plus 2 on the bottom. Okay, now make sure you send this work along with your answer here so that you get credit for the problem. Okay.
Hey friends, on this problem, we want to find the simplified form of 2x squared plus 4x minus 1 divided by x squared minus 2x plus 1. And to do that, we're going to need to do long division. So I'm going to set up the long division. You'll notice that I'm putting the second term here, the second expression, outside the house. And I'm going to put the first expression inside the house. So now I ask myself, okay, what times x squared would give me 2x squared? Well, that's pretty simple because 2 times x squared would give me 2x squared. So I'm going to put the 2 here. Now, I need to multiply this 2 times the expression. So 2 times x squared would give me 2x squared. 2 times negative 2x would give me negative 4x. And 2 times 1 would give me 2. Now you'll remember with division, we usually subtract. However, in algebra, it's easier to add and change the signs of all the terms afterwards. So I like to circle those little changes to the signs just so I remember that I did it. So notice here that the 2x squareds are going to cancel with each other. Now 4x plus 4x will give me 8x. And minus 1 plus negative 2 will give me minus 3x. Now you want to notice that the 8x, the power here is 1, and that is less than the power out here. That tells me that this is my remainder. So let me show you how I write that remainder. I do plus my remainder on the top of a fraction and my divisor, or the expression outside the house, at the bottom of the fraction. So my answer here, the 2 plus, then my remainder, 8x minus 3 divided by the x squared plus 2x plus 1. That's my final answer there.
All right. You did it. Yay! You finished all the problems in the review, in the practice exam, excuse me. Um, there's a few things to do. So make sure you send me pictures or scans of your work so that you get your extra credit. And then also be sure and do your very best on the semester exam. You have that practice exam right beside you so that you're looking at the problem, you're looking at your practice exam so that you do your absolute very best. If there's anything I can do or any questions that you have for me, leave them in the comments below. I'll be glad to help in any way that I can. Bye for now and good luck.